Every time Jungkook holds a camera, his objective seems clear. He's not looking for just any image, he's looking for Taehyung. When Jungkook picks up a camera, what he's doing goes beyond recording or taking photos. There's a clear intention: to be close to Taehyung. It doesn't matter if they're surrounded by other people or if there's something else going on. He always finds a way to get closer to him, and not just once. It seems like Jungkook's every move is planned to close the distance between him and Taehyung, using the camera as the perfect medium. This is especially noticeable when Jungkook walks directly toward Taehyung. Although he could take images from a distance, he chooses to get closer than necessary. He positions himself right next to him, leaving no space. The camera, which could be focused on anyone else, only turns in one direction: Taehyung's. There are many moments where it's clear that Jungkook isn't interested in capturing anything general. He wants to capture what he feels when he's with Taehyung. Each shot has an angle where the two are too close, where their gazes connect and don't let go. You can see how Jungkook stays still, waiting for Taehyung to turn around, and when he does, he doesn't look away. The way they stare at each other makes it clear that there's something very strong going on between them. The use of the camera isn't accidental. Jungkook knows that if he has one in his hands, he can be next to Taehyung without anyone saying a thing. Every click, every recording is a way of keeping what matters most to him close. And there's no one like him in those shots. Only Taehyung. Taehyung knelt before Jungkook while they sang at the same time. And you still doubt what they have. During a concert, Taehyung and Jungkook shared a moment that wasn't just a coincidence. The scene was clear. Jungkook takes Taehyung's hand, and Taehyung kneels in front of him. The two are singing the exact same song, in the same tone, and at the same time. This isn't something simply planned or done without meaning behind it. It's not a random interaction. It was a sincere expression that exposed the connection that exists between them. The screams of the audience and the cameras didn't matter. They decided to show that moment naturally, as if no one else were there. What happened that day on stage wasn't just a physical interaction. It was a silent demonstration of trust and presence. Jungkook's gesture of taking Taehyung's hand wasn't just a show of closeness. It was a way of establishing his presence, of telling the world, "He is the one I want to share this moment with." And Taehyung, kneeling before him and singing the same song at the same time, understood him perfectly. It was as if they were communicating without speaking, as if that moment had been planned by just the two of them in another space, in another time. When someone acts like that, they don't do it out of commitment or for show. Someone who kneels before another person does so because they recognize something important in that person. That act wasn't part of a choreography, nor was it something that was repeated with another member. It only happened with the two of them. And in that context, at a concert in front of millions of people, every gesture takes on a powerful meaning. The simple fact that Jungkook extended his hand only to Taehyung defines an intention. Taehyung chose a dancer with a tattooed arm like Jungkook, a coincidence. It wasn't. During his layover era, Taehyung made a decision that many overlooked, but that Taehyung fans immediately picked up on. He chose a dancer named Goff, whose physical appearance immediately reminds one of Jungkook, especially his fully tattooed arm. Taehyung didn't choose from thousands of options by chance. He chose someone who reflected something familiar, something personal. This detail made it clear that Taehyung can't, nor wants to, separate Jungkook from his solo projects. Even though Jungkook isn't physically in his songs, Taehyung finds a way to make him feel present. Whether it's with a similar tattoo, shared gestures, or visual choices that evoke him, the message is clear. Jungkook is still there, even when we can't see him. And this doesn't just happen with dancers. Also in the Friends music video, another very notable example caught our attention. A girl appears with a piercing in the exact same place where Jungkook has his. Why choose that area of the body and not another? The answer is simple. Taehyung always finds discreet ways to reflect it in his works. These subtle references function as signals for those who know how to look beyond. They are codes, gestures that cannot be explained with words, but that speak volumes. In every artistic movement, Taehyung includes elements that connect him to Jungkook. This isn't nostalgia or tribute. It's continuity. It's a way of showing that, even when solo, his world still includes Jungkook. Whether it's a live performance, a music video, or a photo shoot, there's always a detail that confirms Jungkook's symbolic presence. The choice of the tattooed dancer, the inclusion of the piercing, the shared gestures on stage, everything speaks of a bond that cannot be broken, a connection that continues to manifest itself in unique and visible ways for those who know how to interpret these symbols. There's something about the looks between Taehyung and Jungkook that doesn't need to be explained. It's not just that they see each other. It's how they see each other. When Jungkook holds a camera, his eyes seem to search only for Taehyung. And when their gazes meet, they don't let go. It's as if the world disappears for a moment. No one else enters that space. No one interrupts that invisible line that connects them without them needing to touch. In many scenes, Taehyung is doing something and suddenly Jungkook appears behind him, next to him, or taking a photo. And he doesn't remain silent or distant. He stays close. Just close enough for Taehyung to notice, for his eyes to search for him. And when they look at each other, there's a moment of pause. Neither of them smiles quickly or lowers their gaze. It's a long connection, as if they're talking with their eyes. This kind of interaction isn't seen with everyone. It's not something that happens with everyone. It's special. It's unique. There are clips where Jungkook puts his camera in front of Taehyung but ends up focusing on something else. His face, his way of moving, his expression. He stares at him through the lens as if he wants to memorize every detail. In others, the camera doesn't even matter. The lens is just an excuse. Jungkook follows him, accompanies him, films him without asking permission. And Taehyung doesn't just allow it. The comfort between the two is so evident that it makes it clear their relationship is beyond what everyone can see. There are also moments where Jungkook gets so close that the space between them disappears. It's a physical and emotional closeness. They may be surrounded by many people, but the way they focus on each other erases everything else. It's as if they know that that moment, that second, is worth more than anything else. The important thing isn't the camera. It's the person in front of it. Taehyung doesn't need explanations. Every gesture carries weight. It's a story told without words. Jungkook can use 1,000 excuses to get closer, but none of them can hide the obvious, that he wants to be there, right next to Taehyung, at every moment, no matter who is watching. While many tried to overshadow that moment, especially some Jungkookers who claimed that Jungkook was waiting for Jimin, the truth is that Jimin was in another position behind Jungkook, unrelated to what happened in that exact angle. Taehyung did not interrupt anything. He did not get in the way of anything. He went directly to Jungkook, and Jungkook welcomed him. Both knew what they were doing. The connection in their gaze and the way their voices intertwined confirmed it. Furthermore, the most important thing is how they acted without fear. Many protect themselves in front of the cameras. They avoid contact or glances that could be interpreted differently. But Taehyung and Jungkook did not do that. They chose to live that moment out loud, even though they did not use words. It was a moment when both knew they were being watched. They knew that every movement would be recorded and analyzed. Still, they did not hesitate. They did not hide. They did not disguise. When two people share something strong, they do not need anyone's approval. In the case of Taehyung and Jungkook, they did not seek to convince anyone. They simply showed what they have without saying it. That confidence only exists when there is something real. It was not an act. It was not a show for fans. It was an action that came from them and was not repeated with any other member of the group. The gesture of singing together, hand in hand, while one kneels before the other, speaks of total trust. It is a symbol of dedication and deep affection. No one does that in public unless there is a solid foundation behind it. There is no doubt that that moment was theirs and for them. Even though thousands were watching, they were only seeing each other. The connection between them does not need to be explained. It is enough to observe how they act when they are together. This moment at the concert was a direct and clear proof that Taekook is not an illusion. It is a reality they cannot and do not want to hide. In front of millions of people, Taehyung knelt before Jungkook. And Jungkook, instead of moving or stepping away, accompanied him in the same song. This is what a strong relationship looks like. It does not need words, only actions. Taehyung and Jungkook have built a relationship that goes beyond time and distance. Their signs are not simple coincidences or random gestures. They are messages that demonstrate that even though they are working separately, each one remains part of the other's world. The connection between them is so strong that it expresses itself in small but significant things. What Taehyung did by choosing a dancer like kookv was not just an aesthetic decision. It was a way of saying that Jungkook is on his mind even when he is not physically close. That intention becomes even clearer when observing how in different projects, Taehyung continues to include details that refer to Jungkook. The piercing of a girl in the MV of Friends was not placed randomly. It was not a choice without reason. There are thousands of places where one can get a piercing, but that specific spot is exactly where Jungkook has one. And if we add that detail to the dancer's tattoo, the pattern repeats. Each symbol takes us back to Jungkook. It's not just once, it's many times. These repeated references show that the relationship between them does not fade with time nor pause due to distance. Even though their artistic paths may seem separated, they remain synchronized in their actions. In Taehyung's gestures, there is a constant message. No matter what happens, Jungkook remains part of his present. This is also evident in how they talk about their projects. Although they do not mention each other directly all the time, there are ways to leave signals. And Taehyung knows how to do it. He doesn't need to say Jungkook's name to make him present. He shows it through images, details, and artistic decisions that include him. The most important thing is that this connection does not need to be explained by them. It is seen in their actions. Each one takes care of reminding the other, and also the public, that their story does not stop. Taehyung does not seek anyone's approval. He simply follows his path, but always leaves traces that point toward Jungkook. It does not matter if other people try to divert attention toward other theories. It does not matter if some Jungkookers try to deny these facts. The reality is that Taehyung acts with clarity, and his choices confirm it. The relationship between them is strong because it does not depend on what is visible. It is made of symbols, of gestures that say more than any word. Jungkook appears in the way Taehyung sings, in the people he chooses to share the stage with, in the small details that no one else would have reason to include. What they have does not need explanations. It is present, it is constant, and it keeps appearing in every corner of their careers. For those who truly observe, Taekook is more alive than ever.